If you think the backrooms are just a creepy internet myth, think again, because I brought something back with me. Something that shouldn't exist outside those endless, buzzing yellow halls, but somehow did. I'm not the first to try this challenge, and I'm definitely not the last. But no one talks about what follows you out. No one warns you about the things that slip through the cracks when you think you've escaped. I thought it was just a stupid challenge, some viral dare to prove you could survive a few minutes in a glitchy, endless maze. I was wrong. Dead wrong. Because the backrooms don't just trap you inside their walls, they trap something inside you. And now it's here. Watching. Waiting. If you're curious, if you think you can handle the truth, listen closely. What I'm about to tell you isn't just a story. It's a warning. And it's far from over. Because whatever followed me out, it's still out there. And it's coming for you next. So, why did I even try the Backrooms challenge? Honestly, it started as boredom mixed with a dash of curiosity and maybe a little bit of that dumb internet fame itch. You know the type. Scrolling through endless videos, seeing people walk into this supposed glitch in reality, this endless maze of yellow walls and buzzing fluorescent lights, and then walk out like it's no big deal. Everyone's trying it. Everyone's posting their safe escapes, smiling like they just beat a video game. But here's the thing, no one talks about the ones who don't come back right. The ones who disappear, or worse, come back different. I first heard about the backrooms from some old Creepypasta forums, where people shared stories about this place that exists just a step off reality. It's like a liminal space, familiar but wrong. Like an office building stuck in a never-ending loop, with that sickly yellow wallpaper and that constant hum of fluorescent lights that never quite flicker but never feel stable either. It's the kind of place that messes with your head. My friends thought I was nuts when I said I wanted to try it. Dude, it's just a meme, they said. You're not actually going to get lost in some internet horror story. But the more I watched, the more I saw patterns, people who tried to map it, people who claimed to hear whispers or see shadows. There was even that one guy who streamed his entire time inside before the feed cut out, and no one ever saw him again. I joked about it with my friends online. What if I actually find something in there? Like a secret level or some glitch in the system? They laughed, but I wasn't joking. I wanted to see for myself. So, one night, after hours of research and a few too many energy drinks, I decided to take the plunge. I set up my phone, hit record, and stepped into the backrooms. That's when everything changed. The moment I stepped through that glitch, whatever it was, I was hit with this overwhelming sense of wrongness. At first, it looked like any other office hallway. Yellowed walls, stained carpet, that sickly fluorescent light buzzing overhead. But the second I crossed the threshold, everything shifted. The air felt heavier, thicker, like I was breathing through a wet blanket. The silence was oppressive, but not the kind you expect in an empty building. It was the kind of silence that presses against your eardrums, making every tiny sound, my footsteps, my breathing, feel amplified and wrong. I started walking, expecting to find an exit or at least a door that led back to reality. But the hallways stretched on endlessly, twisting and turning in ways that made no sense. The yellow walls seemed to close in. The buzzing lights flickered just enough to make me question if I was losing my mind. I half expected a janitor to pop out and ask if I needed help. Spoiler, no janitor. Just me and the endless maze. At first, I told myself it was just a weird, glitchy place like a bad dream you could wake up from. I thought I could just walk through and get out. But the backrooms don't want you to leave. The deeper I went, the more the space warped. The carpet patterns repeated like a broken record, the lights hummed louder, and the air grew colder. Then I noticed its shadows flickering just beyond my vision, whispers that sounded like they were coming from the walls themselves. I'd stop and listen, but the moment I focused, the sounds vanished. I tried calling out, but my voice felt swallowed by the endless corridors. Panic started to creep in. I wasn't alone. Something was watching me. Something was moving just out of sight, stalking me through the maze. Every time I turned a corner, I caught a glimpse of something too fast to see clearly, but enough to know it wasn't human. That's when I realized I wasn't just lost. I was hunted. And the backrooms? They weren't just a place. They were a trap. At first, it was just little things, soft noises that didn't belong. A faint scraping sound behind a wall, like nails dragging slowly across concrete. I told myself it was just the building settling, or maybe my imagination running wild. But then the whispers started. Not words, exactly, but low, guttural murmurs that seemed to echo just beyond the edge of hearing. I swear, sometimes I caught what sounded like my own name, twisted and warped into something cruel. I kept talking to myself, trying to stay sane. It's just a game, I'd say. You're fine. Just find the exit. But the voice in my head wasn't always mine. Sometimes I'd hear a second voice, soft, coaxing, almost mocking. You can't leave, it seemed to say. Not yet. I'd spin around, heart pounding, but there was never anyone there. Just the endless yellow halls, stretching on like a nightmare with no end. Then I saw it. A shadowy figure, barely more than a silhouette, flickering at the edge of my vision. It moved too fast to get a good look, but it was definitely there, watching, waiting. I'm not the first to see it. Others have tried to warn me, but I didn't listen. There are stories, cases of people who went in and never came out, or came back broken, whispering about the thing that hunts you in the backrooms. I thought those were just rumors, internet horror stories to scare newbies. I was wrong. The figure wasn't just observing. It was hunting. Every time I tried to hide or run, I could feel it closing in, like a predator stalking its prey. The lights flickered violently, casting long, twisted shadows that seemed to reach for me. The air grew colder, and my breath came out in ragged gasps. I stumbled through the maze, heart hammering, trying to keep track of where I'd been. But the halls shifted, rearranged themselves like a puzzle designed to trap me forever. I remember whispering to myself, "You have to get out. You have to get out." But the thing was always one step behind, its presence a suffocating weight pressing down on me. I caught glimpses of it in reflections' dark eyes, a twisted grin that wasn't human. It was like the backrooms had a heartbeat, and that heartbeat was this thing, pulsing with hunger and malice. I tried to scream, but my voice was swallowed by the endless corridors. I was trapped in a nightmare that was alive, and it wanted me. The more I ran, the closer it got. And then, just when I thought I might lose my mind completely, I found a door, a way out. But I knew, deep down, that whatever followed me through that door wasn't done yet. I don't even remember how I found the door. One moment I was running, heart pounding so hard I thought it might burst through my chest. And the next, there it was, an ordinary-looking door, plain and unassuming. like it had been waiting for me all along. I slammed my hand against it, desperate, breathless, and it creaked open. I stumbled through, expecting to be back in my room, or at least somewhere normal. But normal didn't greet me. Instead, I found myself in a dimly lit hallway, familiar but wrong. The air was thicker, heavier, like the backrooms had followed me out. I froze, every nerve screaming. I thought I was safe once I got out. I was wrong. The silence was broken by a faint, almost imperceptible sound, something breathing. Not mine. Something close. I spun around, eyes wide, but there was nothing there. Or maybe there was, just out of sight. I could feel it, a presence lurking just beyond the edge of my vision, watching, waiting. I pulled out my phone, hands shaking, and called my best friend. "You're not going to believe this," I whispered, voice cracking. I went in and I got out. But something came with me. There was a long pause on the other end. "Are you serious? Dude, you sound like you're losing it." "I'm not. I swear. It's here. I can feel it. It's like it's inside me now." I hung up, heart racing, paranoia creeping in like poison. Every shadow in my apartment seemed to stretch and twist, every creak and groan a warning. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think straight. The thing was there, always just out of sight, whispering in the dark corners of my mind. I tried to tell myself it was just trauma, that my brain was playing tricks. But then the lights flickered, and I saw it, those dark eyes, that twisted grin reflected in the window. Not outside. Inside. I'm trapped now, caught between two worlds. The backrooms didn't just let me go. It sent something with me, something that's waiting for the right moment to strike. If you're watching this, if you're thinking about trying the challenge, don't. Because whatever follows you out, it doesn't just want to scare you. It wants to stay. And it's patient. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. I've shared a lot tonight. But honestly, there's so much more I can't say. Some things are too dangerous to put into words, and some truths are better left buried. But maybe you'll figure it out. Maybe someone out there will connect the dots I couldn't. I've read your comments, seen your theories, and followed the stories from others who've tried the Backrooms challenge. Some say it's just a game, a viral stunt. Others swear they've felt the same presence, heard the same whispers. And then there are those who vanished, no videos, no messages, just silence. I'm not here to scare you for fun. I'm here to warn you. If you're thinking about trying this, don't. Or if you do, be ready for what follows. Because the backrooms aren't just a place you enter and leave. They're a trap, a living nightmare that doesn't end when you walk out the door. I want you to share your experiences, your theories, anything strange you've noticed after watching these stories. This community is the only thing standing between us and whatever's lurking just beyond the edges of reality. And if you think this is the end of my story, think again. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. Keep your eyes open. Keep your doors locked. And whatever you do, don't ignore the shadows. Because they're watching, waiting. And next time, they might not be so patient. I'll be back with more soon. Until then, stay safe and stay curious. But be careful what you wish for. This isn't just a challenge. It's a trap. And I'm not the only one who brought something back. There are others out there, people who think they've escaped, but they're still caught in the game, still carrying pieces of the backrooms with them. Something bigger is going on, something no one's ready to admit. I've started piecing together fragments, strange symbols, cryptic messages hidden in videos, patterns that don't add up. It's like the backrooms are part of something larger, a puzzle with no edges, and we're all just pieces being moved around. So, if you've tried the challenge, or even just watched from the sidelines, pay attention. Notice the shadows that don't belong, the whispers you can't explain. And please comment below if you've seen something strange after trying it. We need to know what we're really dealing with. Stay tuned, because the backrooms, they're still watching. And trust me, they're not done with me or with you. And hey, if you ever find yourself lost in a yellow hallway, just remember, don't expect a janitor to show up. Spoiler alert, there's no janitor. Only the thing waiting in the dark.